Hey everyone, this is Aaron from MTGChallengers and welcome to another Magic the Gathering highlights video. Today we'll be covering game 1 of the match between Evan playing Red Deck Wins and me playing Temur Energy. I took the play and used a Botanical Sanctum to cast an Attune with Aether, searching my library for a mountain, putting it in my hand and getting 2 energy counters. Evan laid down a Ramanap Ruins and took me to 19 with a Bomat Courier, exiling the top card of his library. I dropped an Aether Hub, getting an energy counter, and resolved a Servant of the Conduit, adding 2 more to my reserve. Evan swung with his Courier again, exiling another card from the top. I blocked and killed it with my Servant, so in post-combat he put another Ruins onto the field and paid a life with each of them to cast 2 Rigging Runners, both entering with +1/+1 counters. I put a Mountain into play and resolved a Whirler Virtuoso, going up to 8 energy. Evan played a Sun-Scorched Desert as his land for turn, dealing 1 damage to me. He then pinged himself with his Ruins to cast an Earthshaker Kenra. When it entered, Evan chose to make my Virtuoso unable to block for the turn and swung with his team for 6. In response, I paid 6 energy to create 2 1/1 Flying Thopters. I used one of them to trade with the Kenra and used the other to chump one of the runners and took the remaining 2, going to 16. I put a second Servant into play, getting 2 energy counters. I then tapped the rest of my lands and my first Servant, paying 2 energy in the process to resolve a Rogue Refiner, getting the energy back and drawing a card. On Evan's next turn, he paid a life and cast a Lightning Strike to kill my Virtuoso. In response, I paid 3 more energy and created a Thopter. He swung with his 2 runners for 4. I chumped one of them with my Thopter again and took the other 2, going down to 14. I cast a Harnessed Lightning on one of the runners. I had to spend 2 energy to kill it, but got 3 from the Lightning, profiting 1. I then paid another energy counter with one of my Servants to cast a Whirler Virtuoso, getting 3 energy back. For combat, I swung with my Refiner and untapped Servant for 5, dropping Evan to 11. Evan laid down another Desert, pinging me for 1. He paid a life to put a Karizev Skyship Raider into play. He did the same to cast a second one, immediately sending it to the grave to get a card out of his hand. I cast a Long Tusk Cub on my next turn and followed it up with a Bristling Hydra. I spent 3 energy casting everything, but just got it back from the Hydra when it entered. I chose to pass my turn without attacking. Evan went down to 8 to resolve a Hazaret the Fervent. He only had 1 card in hand, so he was able to swing in with it. In response, I created a Thopter with my Virtuoso and chumped it. On my next turn, I put a Forest into play and cast a second Hydra. I then swung with the rest of my team for a total of 15 damage. Evan went to block, but realized there was no way to prevent enough damage for him to stay alive, so he scooped, giving me the win and taking us to game 2. And that is it for this game. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more, check out my highlights playlist. To see the lists for these decks, check out the deck techs. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and of course, subscribe to the channel for more Magic the Gathering content.